$460. That's how much Salad AI has paid me over the last 30 days for renting out my GPUs, and it's only getting higher. So if you've been watching the channel, you know that I have been testing out various GPU rental platforms for about the last year or so. Right now on Salad, demand for 4090s, 5090s, and pretty much everything else is going through the roof. But people constantly ask me, how much are you actually making? So today I'm going to break down what hardware I'm using for you and my electric costs, and show you how we're making $460 and close to $750 in the next month if everything goes to plan. First off, let's quickly jump in the mining room and have a look at my gear. Alright guys, so welcome to the mining room. This is actually a new mining room of mine. We've just built it, we've insulated it, we've done acoustic paneling, exhausts, intake, everything. So if you're interested in more of that sort of stuff, make sure you subscribe. I'll do a full video on that a little bit later, but first of all, let's take a look at what we've got behind me. So these right here are basically computers, right? But they're mining rigs, or AI rigs as we're using them in this case. They're just a GPU, a motherboard, a CPU, all that sort of stuff, plugged into a monitor. Windows is running and Salad is on there as well. So right now we're running 4 5090s. We've basically sold all of our older cards, and we're just using the high-end stuff, the stuff that's actually making us some money. So these are the mini computers that are doing all the heavy lifting. So I won't waste too much time with you in here. Let's jump on over to the computer and see what the numbers actually say about how much we're making every month. So let's get to the fun part. What are we actually making? We're gonna break this all down daily, weekly, monthly so far, and of course talk about our electricity costs because they have to be included as well. We'll start here with the earnings, the fun stuff. As we can see at the top, $25.92 or $26. This is all USD as well. The last 24 hours off those 4 rigs, $145 in the last 7 days, and just under $470 in the last 30 days, which is really, really nice. But when we scroll down further, look at the 30-day chart, we've just moved into a new property. We've been renovating and moved in over the last few months. So a lot of these rigs haven't even been online or stable for that matter. So these numbers should be getting a lot better. If we assumed that we can stick around on this $25, $26 mark, 30 days straight, that puts us at about $750 for each month by month. And the demand right now for Salad is really, really high on the 5090s as well as on everything else. So if you want to learn a bit more about Salad or want to get involved, check the description or the pinned comment. I'll leave a link to get to Salad or how to install it, all those sorts of things, so you can get a little bit more information. See the demand here, 104%. So this means that there's more demand than there is GPUs, 5090s in the specific case at the moment. So turn yours on, it'll get rented straight out at 27 cents an hour. Now, some other platforms do promise better rates, but in my experience, it's all about staying online. It's all well and good to, have say 12 hours on a different platform, at say 50 cents an hour, but then it doesn't get rented out, for the next 12 hours and you're just burning idle power. So that's why we're sticking with Salad for now. So numbers are looking really, really promising. As long as we can keep these rigs online, they seem to be pretty stable now. This one 5900X and 5090 rig I've only just turned on, giving us a few little headaches. It didn't want to find a job, then it did. And now it seems to have stuck. So that should creep up to about the $6 mark as well per day, $6.50. So far, so good, looking really, really nice. And you can cash this out, by the way, to your PayPal or Venmo. So you can literally cash it out into your bank account. This isn't crypto. That's why I'm going with Salad at the moment. I want those dollars. So I'm actually using these expenses this income, sorry, to cover my monthly electricity, rates, phone bills, all that sort of stuff. We're making this money actually work for us. We're not trying to hoard another crypto coin that does nothing. This is real dollars. So $470 a month. Let's see how much electricity we need to take out of that as well, because electricity is the killer. But fortunately, in my case, with my solar and the battery, doesn't really hurt at all. What you're looking at right now is a screenshot of my power meter. So this is a Tapo smart plug, and I've got one of these on each of my different 5090s, the 4 rigs in total. It tells us the current power draw and the time running. Most importantly, how many kilowatt hours we are running. So this is how you're going to be able to figure out exactly how much you are spending on electricity. Got 4 different rigs here. One of them 7.8. Next one 6 kilowatt hours. Another one just under 5.5, and another one just under 8. So they all do vary ever so slightly in how much power they're actually using. This current power sometimes is down at 400 on some of the rigs. It's down at 100 for an hour here or there. But at about 12.5 hours, we're using just under 30 kilowatt hours. So I know, because I've done these numbers before, my rigs are using about 60 kilowatt hours per day, which at a very bad electric rate will hurt you. But I want to quickly explain to you how much I'm making from the battery, considering it's winter coming. Talk about the electricity prices as well. So right here, we're looking at my current solar intake. So it's almost winter, right? And it's been raining for like the last month since we've moved in here, but we're still pulling about 30 kilowatt hours a day, right? And we're storing a fair bit of that as well. I've got a not a flat rate, I've got a 70% rate of 17 cents. Right, so this means that for 70% of the day, I'm using 17 cents Australian, which is about 12 cents USD. Then at about from 6 till 9 p.m, I've got a peak rate, which is about 38 cents Australian. But we basically have tinkered around with our battery, so we store enough throughout the day. We only buy if we need to at that 17 cent rate, and we avoid that peak rate altogether. So right now, the cloud's just gone over, we're importing. Generally, we're creating about 30 kilowatt hours per day off the solar, storing enough to only need to buy during that 17 cent period. So our effective, kilowatt hour rate is probably close to 8 cents, maybe 8 or 9 cents max USD. This is at the worst time of the year. So let's have a look at some numbers quick, see what that costs versus how much we're actually earning. So back to our main page here, we know, let's just do a daily, right? So we know we're earning about $25.70. Let's just call it $25 per day. We know that our rigs are using 60 kilowatt hours a day. We generally are getting from the solar and storing at least 30 of those. So even if we said, 30 kilowatt hours, let's just say at that full rate, let's say it's completely raining, the solar does nothing, battery does nothing. Times that in USD by 0.12, $3.60 worth of electricity, so you're still making about $22 a day. Halve that again, we said 30 times 0.8, $2.50. You can see how it works here. Even if we said, let's look at 60 kilowatt hours a day at our full rate of, say, the 17 cents Australian or 12 cents USD, $7.20. So you'd still be making $18 a day on these rigs. So really, really good numbers. And if we just assumed we ended up making that 750, a month, and best case scenario, say we used $5 a day, 5 times 30, it's 150. We'd have 750 minus $150. We'd still be looking at around $600 per month worth of profit after electricity through these winter days as well. So summer's going to be looking really, really good, which is leading me to think maybe I need to get some more rigs on some more 5090s, because if these things can pay themselves off every, 8 months or so, maybe it might be worth it. So that will sort of wrap up, you know, a pretty brief overview of what my sort of solar battery rental farm is doing at the moment over the last 30 days. Let me know what you guys think. If you want me to go through the full costs and ROI of the battery, the solar, all the rigs, let me know down in the comments, because I love doing videos crunching numbers. I love hearing your feedback, because I'm sure there'll be people who will tell me you're never going to make your money back. Let me have it down in the comments, guys. If you like the video, I like the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!